Welcome to the Happiness Minute, the podcast that takes you to discover the elements that lead to a fulfilling and well lived life. I'm your host, Anna, your guide on this expedition toward a better and brighter life. So join us. We encourage you to take a few moments to focus on yourself, embrace self improvement, and positively impact those around you. So, buckle up for inspiration, motivation, and practical wisdom. Get ready to transform your life 1 minute at a time. Okay, hi everyone. I'm back, and today we have a very special guest. So, her name is Ashish Paul. Ashish helps couples on their journey of parenthood by improving their fertility with ancient Ayurvedic medicine and Western herbal medicine. She utilizes meditation, yoga, NLP to achieve the desired outcome of her patients. So, her aim is to bring awareness to the holistic benefits of Ayurveda and the Western herbal medicine. She passionately speaks about protecting women's health before and after having children. So, throughout our conversation today, we'll be looking at natural health rejuvenation. We will discuss revitalizing and restoring one's health and well being through natural and holistic approaches. So, it involves nurturing the body, mind, and spirit, often relying on practices prioritizing the body's innate ability to heal itself. So I'm confident that you'll gain valuable insights from Ashish, wealth and knowledge and experience. So we're without further ado, let's welcome Ashish Paul to the podcast. So how are you today, Ashish?
Hi, Anna. It's lovely. It's lovely to be here and to be talking to you. And yes, thank you so much for having me. And I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us today. So before we can proceed with our conversation, could you take a moment to introduce yourself to our listeners and share a bit more about what you do, especially in your line of work?
Yes, absolutely. So, as you have already given a bit of introduction, so it is all about improving health and well being, whether it's for fertility or for rejuvenation. But how can people improve their lives using natural medicines, herbs, therapies, diet, nutrition, all of it, in their lives to improve their health and well being? Whether they're trying to conceive, trying to get pregnant as a couple, or mainly women are the ones who end up using all the treatments and medicines, or they're, women who have gone through major other issues, maybe they have been through hysterectomy, they've been through any other major operation, they can use natural therapies with it. So I like to I like to talk about those areas that we are not doing enough for women's health, and how can natural medicine, ancient medicine of Ayurveda, then also herbal medicine of the West, how can they help and support? That's what I do. And I'm based in Harley Street in central London.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ashish. Thank you for that introduction. So, my very first question to you is how does natural health rejuvenation differ from conventional medicine's wellness approach?
Right. Wow, that's a huge question. Absolutely. So, what it is that, right now, rejuvenation is kind of buzzword. Okay. A lot of
Correct,
people
yeah.
know about as anti-aging. People want to live longer. They want to look younger, however, the approach for that is very, very medical in the sense that people are looking at stem cell therapy. People are looking at PRP, which is plasma therapy as well. People are looking at a lot of Botox, fillers, all of that, right? But natural medicine differs from the point that you cannot improve your skin's health without improving your digestive health, because your body mind is all interconnected, and your rejuvenation, or your to retain your forever youth, is going to come from your actual health. Yeah. So that's where it differs from that. It's not just only doing things to you topically or taking supplements, for example, right? But what can you do internally? How can you eat accordingly so that your food becomes like medicine for you? Okay. And how can you live accordingly so that your lifestyle becomes medicinal for you? So that's how it differs, that it is not just only taking some supplements or just vitamins, minerals in your body, to be looking younger, but you also need your mind to be younger. Okay. You need a
Okay, yeah.
healthy mind, right? A rejuvenative mind which is curious, like a childlike mind, a happy mind, a satisfied mind and body and spirit. So that's the different approach, that it is not just only symptomatic approach, it is holistic approach.
Yeah, so you mentioned just now about mind, right? So how does this mind-body connection influence overall health? And what sort of things or practices we should do to enable us to be rejuvenated?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think most people think like that, and sometimes I have to also use that language, the body mind connection or body mind. Body and mind is one. We are just one being, right?
Mhm.
So we have mind in all parts of our body, right? By
Yeah.
mind, I mean your nervous system is in each and every cell of you. A part of your nervous system is in each, and that's how we feel all our parts, because we have got nervous system which can perceive it. So that means it is not two separate things, right? And your body's health is dependent on your mind's health. Mind is not just only health of your brain, but mind is about mindset, about the health of your thoughts. How healthy are your thoughts? It then dictates how your body then follows. Okay. The healthier you think, the healthier you behave, the healthier you believe. Okay. There are people who believe that they are healthy, they're fit.
Yeah.
They have a better positive outlook, and that makes sure that their body follows that, right? So it is that. So body and mind is one thing. It's no different. We are all a combination of our
Okay.
physical health, mental health, cellular health, sexual health. All of it is connected. And then you have asked me, what can you do to,
Yeah,
I mean,
practices or like tips that you can provide to have to become rejuvenated, like in terms of the mind and body practices.
yes. So rejuvenation is about feeling vibrant, okay, feeling
Mhm.
younger, feeling
Yes, of
it's
course.
yeah, feeling younger. Everybody wants to feel younger, right? uh, but it is about feeling better. It's about thriving. It's about having vitality, that you have that glow in your skin, you have that brightness in your talking as well. Yeah, so it's as deeper as that. So what can you do is, there are lots of things that you can do depending on which part of your health is suffering right now. Okay.
Mhm.
Whether it's your physical health, whether it's your mental health, sexual health, relationship health, whether it is your work environment which is not healthy right now, or your home environment is not healthy. So you can start from any of those angles, and then knowing that what are the things that you can change. By the way, as you're aware, I've written this short ebook about
Oh, yes,
rejuvenating
yeah.
you using natural therapy. So things that you can change around you, everything about you and everything around you. So yeah, but if I have to give one top piece of advice, is uh, to change your food, to optimize your food, and the way you cook, the way you eat, the way you, what are the ingredients you're using, all of that. That's the biggest change maker, because we are what we can eat, what we can digest, right? So
Mhm.
it's the foods.
The food. Yeah, so that means that it's actually the nutrition. So nutrition definitely contributes to the rejuvenation of the body. So in terms of that, um, can you give like some of the nice food that can help, rejuvenate us? Do you have like, simple food that we need to be eating right now to help?
Yeah, yeah. So the foods that we want for, especially for rejuvenation, are the foods which are rich in antioxidants, as we call them. So, such as good quality fats. So, I am a great proponent of eating fat. Okay, fat does
Oh,
not
that's
mean
nice.
fried food.
Yeah,
Fat
because like,
means,
oh, like everyone was like, oh no, don't eat fat. Like, okay.
I know, but fat is what gives you that, health. It gives you, it is also what body requires in terms of the functioning of cellular function as well. So it is good quality fat. We are not talking about drinking gallons of ghee. We are talking about cooking with ghee, which is just 1 or 2
Ah, so it's
tablespoons.
ghee. When you say fat, you want to cook in ghee. So
Yeah,
if a lot of our listeners might not know what ghee is, so
yeah.
can
So
you
ghee.
tell us, yeah,
Yeah,
a bit
so
more about
ghee
that?
is clarified butter. So
Okay.
if we were to warm butter over low heat, then the fat part will separate and the whey will separate out of that
Okay.
butter. So that fat is ghee. So that
Ah,
liquid
I see.
gold, as we call it.
Liquid gold.
And there is another way of making ghee, but anyway, that's what pure fat will be called ghee. And you can use ghee, you can use butter, you can use any other goose fat, tallow, or you can use olive oil. Olive oil is also great fat. Um, yeah, or oil. As most people
Oil.
know, they might not know it's fat. But you need that which are good to cook with, right? And then you need foods such as which are high in antioxidants. For example, we have all the berries. I'm a great fan of different berries, any kind of berries. So it is gooseberry, blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, what are the berries are there? Blackberries,
Blackberry.
right?
We need to eat it raw rather than cooked, right? Because you get the best amount of
Yeah.
nutrients
So
for
yeah.
raw.
Absolutely. Yeah. So either you take it as a smoothie or you eat it fresh. I like fruits to be eaten as it is.
Mm.
I don't necessarily like too much juicing, because
Okay.
too much juicing, or any kind of, if you're eating lots of smoothies, you need a very strong digestive system to be able to digest them, because that's a very cold food, right? All
Yes,
fruits are
that's right.
cold by nature. So your system needs a lot to digest it, but they are good for you if you can eat them. If you want to cook them, you can also heat them in the oven and make a
Hmm.
compote, or you can make
Yeah,
a,
that's right.
but without the sugar. So we are not talking about adding any sugar to it. But you can add spices like cinnamon, and you can add any other spices that you like. Or so that is another way of eating it. Um, and then, of course, we have herbs that you can take, which
Mhm.
only a practitioner can give you. But there are certain herbs which are very high in antioxidants. We also know that taking a lot of vitamin C helps in rejuvenation, such as, eating oranges.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I like oranges.
yeah, oranges have got a lot of vitamin C. So taking that, but eating fresh fruit is always better, because fresh fruit has, a lot of fiber. So your body is not just having the sugar rush that you might have from if you're just juicing it, or even the ready-made juices that you get from the market.
Mhm.
It's better to juice it fresh and drink it.
Okay. Yeah, because you mentioned herbs, right? So I know like there's a lot of herbs that you can buy fresh as well. So do you recommend it fresh, or like there's some herbs that are dried? So for cooking, I would say like it would be fresh, of course, but for like you mentioned, it has to be dispensed by a herbalist properly. So that would have been the dried herbs. Am I correct in saying
Uh,
that, or
No,
is there any?
not necessarily dried, but yes, fresh herbs which have been then dried,
Yeah.
according to how we dry for medicinal use. And then you can also have in tincture form,
Ah,
capsules,
yeah, tincture. Yeah.
pills, herbal teas. There are all various formats. But only a herbalist, once you go and see them, like myself, who are then qualified and trained in herbal medicine. So there are lots of herbal medicines that you can take for antioxidant purposes, right? But also make sure that if you want to, or and when you want to rejuvenate, that you are able to digest. Okay.
I see. Okay.
So if your digestion is not working well, rejuvenation is not going to work well, because if you're not able to even digest the herbs that you're taking, right? If you're eating herbs or eating fruits, for example, and you are not having good digestion, then even all the fruits that you're eating are not going to give you the benefit.
Okay. In terms of fruits, like you said, yeah, right, it should be fresh, but I just feel like sometimes if you eat too much fruit, there is also too much sugar on some of them, so it has to be the right balance, right? I would say like it should be the right amount of fruit that you need to eat as well, because if you have like a bit of a sugar rush, then of course you won't be rejuvenated with that.
No, you won't be. And that's the thing. It's about balance, as you say. So it is about, if you are having like fruit snack, for example, I normally recommend mid-morning and mid-afternoon, right? So in between breakfast and lunch, or between lunch and dinner,
Mhm.
if you do have dinner. So you can have that, but with that, you can have something like perhaps a nut butter. Okay. So you have some
That's
fruit,
good.
but you have a spoonful of nut butter. Or you can have a spoonful of nut butter, but spread on a little piece of toast, or some kind of healthy toast you can have, so that that sugar that you're having from all the fruits is actually going to get balanced with some kind of protein based food. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nut butters are great for that. You can also have, for example, what's the other thing I was going to say? Cheese, a piece of cheese. Okay. So that you can have with certain fruits. So
Okay.
that way you're able to balance it. But you're right, it is about knowing how much fruit you are taking in, so that you're not taking buckets of lots of, because I find what people miss is the proportion size, how much
Mm.
juice, how much smoothie, how much actual fruit you should be. You don't need loads of it. Okay. So when we talk about smoothie, I always say you need about 100 ml of smoothie. 100 ml is quite small amount. It's
Yeah, it's quite small.
half a cup. But people are taking smoothies which are like 250 ml of smoothie. It's not good for your digestive system, right? So it is about the quantity, what kind of quantity you have. And then if you're having fruit, then what else do you eat with that fruit so that sugar can be balanced?
Yeah, because I just feel like if you're eating too much fruit as well, your sugar level goes high up as well. So it has to be
Yeah.
have the balance
Yeah.
in that. Yeah. So
Yes, absolutely. Also, remember, when you eat actual fruit, for example, when you eat actual blueberries, rather than even if you're smoothing it, when you eat actual fruit, because you are chewing it, it takes some time, right?
yeah,
As compared to when you take a smoothie, you're just gulping it down. So your body is not doing anything, and that sugar goes very directly, very quickly into your bloodstream, as compared to if you're chewing it, and then slowly that food is going to go through your system into your
mm,
gut to be digested. So it is much slower process. So that is why it's better to eat fruit, take time to eat it, so that it is not giving you that rush.
yeah. You also mentioned something about tea. So I know like certain teas are really good antioxidant.
Yes.
So which one are those? I remember, is it green tea? Are there other ones that are great for that?
Yeah, green tea, white tea. There is green tea, there's white tea, there's jasmine tea. There are,
White
which are,
tea. Oh, which one? I haven't haven't tasted any white
there
tea.
is
Maybe.
white tea as well. Yes, yes. They are rich in, and even normal tea has got good amount of antioxidants. Okay. But it also has got good amount of caffeine in it
Yeah,
as well. So you also have to know whether you are someone who's sensitive to caffeine. Okay.
correct.
Because some
Yeah.
people are more sensitive to caffeine than the others. But there are herbal teas that you can take. And again, as I always say, when you go to a practitioner, you have an assessment with them, you then
Hmm.
are aware of what teas to take, how much tea you can take,
Yeah,
because some of the herbal medicines they might interact with,
correct.
or
Yeah.
they might not give you any benefit. They might interact with your other drugs or medicines that you might be taking. So there are lots of teas you can take. And and also, even if a particular tea is not necessarily, say, antioxidant, okay, like we're talking about, let's say, chamomile. So chamomile
Ah,
is
yes.
not really known for its antioxidant effect. But if your digestive system It requires cooling down, calming down. It requires that kind of anti-inflammatory action from chamomile tea. Then chamomile tea is going to be rejuvenative for your gut.
Yeah, that's quite good. Oh, I
right?
see. Okay. Yeah.
So it is not that a particular food is antioxidant or not. It is about any particular herb that is beneficial for your system is going to have rejuvenative effect.
Okay, because the other thing that I want to ask you, because I know like I did mention it when I introduced you, is all about Ayurveda.
Yeah.
So in terms of the fundamental principles of Ayurveda, how do they contribute to natural health rejuvenation? And can you explain a slightly, like a basic understanding of what Ayurveda is? I understand what it is, but I guess some people they might not know what
Yes.
it does.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So Ayurveda is art and science of living. That's all it is. So Ayurveda word means Ayu means life, Veda means knowledge. It is to know your life, knowledge of your life. So it is not only about taking medicines, right? So Ayurveda is a healthcare system. It is about knowing which things are good for you, which things are bad for you, what makes you healthy, what makes you unhealthy, what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy. So that's why we call it an art and science of living. So knowing what kind of body, mind, constitution or personality you have, and then eating foods accordingly, living according to that, sleeping according to that, doing your job according to your personality. That is, in a nutshell, what Ayurveda does.
So it have a special connection to natural health rejuvenation then? So it's sort of like it's in that area.
Absolutely, yes. So Ayurveda mentions about rejuvenation in connection with sexual health.
I see.
And actually I've listened to a lot of podcasts. So recently listening to some scientific podcasts, and they're talking about that sexual health can be taken as an overall measure of your health, right? So which is very interesting. And Ayurveda, Ayurveda has spoken about it thousands of years ago. So we have rejuvenative medicine, the whole branch of Ayurveda, which talks about improving your sexual performance, sexual energy, your vitality, your immune system optimization. And all of that is about rejuvenating you. The more rejuvenated you are, because what happens is if somebody is not feeling very well, then body at that point only is interested in keeping you alive. Okay, so the first thing that goes out of the window is your sexual health, or your ability to have even fertility goes down, because body is not interested in reproducing takes up a lot of energy, right? So it is interested in how can I keep myself healthy right now. So if your sexual health is thriving, that means your body otherwise is fit, it's healthy, it's safe. And that's when it is like, okay, let's do other things.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. The other question I was thinking about as well in terms of this rejuvenation is that I know, like for example, the environment also plays. It's also impacting your rejuvenation, because I think if you are not in a serene environment, then you won't be able to be happy. You won't be able to have that rejuvenation. So do you think that has an effect, and what do they need to do to counteract that?
Yeah, environment, do you mean the environment like just around us, or environment
around us,
overall? Yeah, okay.
Around us,
so
whether physical, or emotional.
Yeah, absolutely. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, Ayurveda talks about your environment, which is the environment of your house. How do you live in the house? So it talks about even what we say in Feng Shui, for example, how do you put things around in your house which affect your energy? It also talks about the cleanliness as well, which is also about your environment. Okay, how clean is your house environment? and then the environment in your office, wherever you are going to move in life, right? Your home environment, office environment, and then the environment, overall environment of your area, of your city, of your country, right? So it talks about all of those, and it has a direct impact. Like we know that food chain, water supply has a direct impact on your health, on your hormonal health. One of the things, for example, this is just an example of environment. If you are in an environment where there are a lot of sprays and there are a lot of what we call perfumes, for example, and if those perfumes are not made from natural ingredients, then they are going to have an effect on your health, especially your hormones. They are the biggest disruptors of your hormones. So it is important to understand, is your environment healthy enough to be able for you to rejuvenate? Otherwise, that might be affecting you. Like a lot of people don't even realize that they have migraines or they have headaches are actually due to the environment they are in.
So, okay. So then what sort of steps then people can do to have a natural health rejuvenation? Like what steps do they need to take?
Yeah. So step one is to it's about slowly optimizing and clearing your life, right? Whether it is related to your food, whether it is related to your environment, you're clearing everything. You're making it simpler. You're making it as natural as possible. For example, one example, in our house, also for children, as well as to keep the house clean, as well as we have a pet, and she might be licking off the floor. We have a little dog. So we use white vinegar as cleaning surface cleaning solution. So we don't use anything from outside, and it's only white vinegar, which is food quality. So even if you lick it, even if you eat it, and white vinegar, a lot of people use in pickles and stuff, right? So that can be easily used. Even to clean your toilet, you can use it. So I have got these bottles of white vinegar, and then I put some essential oils in it. And then we spray that everywhere. We clean our kitchens, bathrooms, all surfaces. So it's safe, it's food grade, it has got no side effects. Even if you inhale it, it does not affect. So that's one example how you can start clearing your spaces. For example, if you're in an office space and your office space overall you can't control, but around your desk you can keep a diffuser where you can put some essential oils in it, so that that diffuser at least keeps that space healthy. So whatever you are smelling is actually much healthier as compared to the rest of the office. So these are little steps, that people can take to rejuvenate their environment, their health.
Yeah. So, Ashish, I was wondering as well, in terms of the work that you do, how do you help people then to, on their natural rejuvenation journey?
Oh, wow. Amazing. I work with a lot with women, but it is not just only for women, it's for men as well. Same principles apply to men also. But I do rejuvenation of fertility, so rejuvenating their health so that fertility rejuvenates. There are specific herbs that we give for fertility. If it is not for fertility, for other purposes, then it is about where is your health right now and how can I improve it. So I help patients with improving each area of their life and give them steps that they can then change. And I also give a lot of information, and we work together that these are the steps that you can do in your own way. Okay. So if I tell them, like this example I gave of using white vinegar, I will tell my patients that this is something you can do to start improving your health. But I work with physical rejuvenation. So your physical body aches and pains, your skin, how can we improve that health? Then there is mental health, there is sexual health, there is food, and then there is cellular health, for which I give herbal medicines. And then there are therapies that we use for rejuvenating you. Now, for rejuvenation, one of the key principles that is different for my practices that you can have, for example, a lot of people go for massage, right? Every week they go for one session of massage. But if you want to rejuvenate, if you really want a stronger impact of a particular therapy, then we do those therapies, a lot of them clubbed together over a number of days. So, for example, full body massage, which we call Abhyanga, an Ayurvedic method of doing full body massage, we do that. I do that with my patients at least 4 sessions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days continuously.
I see. Okay.
Either 1 hour or 2 hours of that particular session. And that is when you see much bigger results, right? So it is when you continuously keep using therapies, your skin will, of course, is going to be much better than if you're only doing once a week. So that's the key difference how I work with my patients, is that if I'm improving their fertility, even then I give them therapies before ovulation. If I'm working with somebody, say somebody is going for, or somebody has had an operation, right? Any kind of operation, they have had appendectomy or they have had any other thing. Afterwards, we can then give them therapies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 8, 9, 10 days. And they can then see the effect of it much faster.
So they can recover faster, or
Yeah.
they have an improvement in terms of their mental well-being, because after all of this sometimes you feel really down or you just don't want to do anything. So I think with those therapies that you do, it's also helping in that aspect.
Absolutely. That's the point, because natural therapy is, it's not forcing anything on you. Okay. We're just giving our bodies and our minds that kind of space to heal itself. And that space means when you use any kind of touch therapy, right? Touch therapy is when a practitioner is massaging and their skin is touching your skin. It is a great reassurance for your nervous system that, especially if you trust them, that everything is fine, it's going to work out, it's going to, so it's a great assurance. So that helps you to increase your dopamine levels. It helps to increase your happy hormones. It also increases your oxytocin because you get that kind of nurturing from them. So it is all of that. And that helps with your healing much, much faster. Okay. And rejuvenation.
Rejuvenation. Okay, so I think those are my questions for you, Ashish. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on our podcast today. So it's been a pleasure hearing about your insights and learning about natural, health and also natural rejuvenation. So your expertise has truly added tremendous value to our conversation. But before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to share with our listeners today? For any upcoming projects, for example, books, that sort of thing, or do you have any website that they want to tell our listeners if they want to know more about what you
do? Yes, absolutely. So ashishveda.uk is my website, and we also have another website, drashish.co.uk, and all upcoming webinars and books and ebooks and guides that I release every week almost, they are there. So please join us, and please, get hold of copy of any free guide related to whatever you are looking for. Get hold of that, start putting some natural things in place. And also you can follow me on social media, Ashishveda and Dr. Ashish. You can easily find. We'll also share the links and stuff if Anna is okay with that. And follow me, ask a question, and start your journey of rejuvenation.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And see you next 2 weeks from now for our next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.